Welcome to the Ringer Fantasy Football Show. My name is Danny Heifetz. I am joined by Danny, Kelly, and Craig Horlbeck, and today we are going through all of our must-add players after week 3. Here's how it's going to work. We are going to go position by position. We're each going to give our number one pick to add at that position, and it's like waivers where only one person gets them. So if we pick the same guy, we'll do a trivia tiebreaker to figure out who gets it, and then someone will have to pick someone else. It's not that complicated. I promise that you will get it. Everyone listening, please feel free to email us trivia questions at ringerfantasyfootball@gmail.com. Remember, we have to be able to get closest to the pin here, wrong in an order. So it's a number, like a year, a date, a weight, an amount, whatever. Just send us a trivia question we can answer and be wrong in an order.
Or we could be right.
Or has that ever happened?
No.
Has to have. Once, maybe?
Maybe once.
What is the score? Kai, Carlos, do you guys have the trivia score?
Yeah, I got it. Let's see. Craig has 3, DK has 2, and Heifetz has 1. And this is after the switch up. I don't remember exactly what had happened.
It was the muscles in an elephant's trunk.
We thought there were 40,000 elephants in a mussels trunk, according to the Cleveland. Well, the Cleveland Zoological Society said 40,000, but apparently it's 17. So you know what, man? It's information stuff these days. Yeah, you know what? Disinformation's everywhere. All right, let's just get into it. No bones about it. DK, running back. Give us your number one running back ad of the week after week 3.
Look, I'm going to go with Bucky Irving for the Buccaneers. Aptly named Bucky Irving. He has basically started to take over a bigger role in this offense. And you know, through 3 weeks, he's been clearly the much better runner, basically in every metric. In fact, through 3 weeks, he has almost the same exact number of fantasy points as Rachaad White, who was a very high draft pick this year. If you remember, Bucky Irving has 20.7 half PPR points. Rachaad White, 22.4. So White still has the edge in terms of snaps, but he has been really ineffective as a runner. And I think the team is going to start rewarding Bucky Irving with more snaps and more volume. Todd Bowles said that this morning, that Irving has earned a bigger share going forward. So I'm kind of just trying to grab a guy now before he ends up ultimately being like the main guy on the ground, early down runner for the Buccaneers.
Dude, Bucky Irving just straight up looks really good. Yeah. He has juice. Like, it's like night and day watching Rachaad White run the ball and Bucky Irving run the ball. I know he's game script dependent a little bit. Todd Bowles even said that the reason why White played more is because they were down the whole game and White is a better pass protector. But if like worst case scenario for Bucky Irving is what he did yesterday, where he got 9 carries and 3 catches in a blowout, that's pretty good. So I agree. I'm taking Bucky Irving as well. We've recommended him, I think a few weeks ago. So I'm sticking with him. I think he's great short-term and long-term play, I think.
This is a money where the mouth is. Yeah, this is a money where the mouth is take for me because I've got him stashed on multiple teams already, and I'm just like waiting for this to happen. But I mean, if you look at the rushing right now through 3 weeks, Rachaad White 31 rushes, 66 yards. Bucky Irving 25 rushes, 154 yards.
He's just better.
Yeah, he's more decisive. He's quicker. You know, he's not like a super fast player. He's not going to outrun a guy probably over 70 yards, but he's really, really quick in the short area. Really decisive runner downhill. Makes guys miss. Basically, any rushing metric you look at, he's lapping Rachaad White. But Rachaad White will have a role as a pass catcher, but I think Bucky Irving is the guy that's going to end up leading the backfield here.
You have the same, Heifetz?
Yeah, I have Bucky Irving as well.
Nice. Okay.
Bucky. That means.
Bucky. All right. Let's rev up the engines. It is the Bucky Irving showdown time.
By the way, Bucky's real name is Marquise.
Oh.
Marquise Bucky Irving.
I like the nickname Bucky. Cool name.
Yeah.
I used to love Bucky Lassick, the skateboarder, growing up when I played Tony Hawk.
Who's Bam Margera and all them and all the Jackass adjacent guys. Yeah. Bucky's a good name. Marvel guy. All right. So here, you guys ready for a showdown time here?
Yeah.
This is going to be war related for DK. Layup.
Once again, I'm asking for regular trivia.
And when you say regular, you just mean things that you know about.
Stuff I could possibly know. Yeah.
Well, DK, you're in luck.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
This is from Aaron.
Aaron.
Aaron. DK, you're a dad. History buff. Heard of the Battle of the Bulge.
Right.
Aaron's question is, how big was the bulge in the Battle of the Bulge?
In miles, I assume.
I got to tell you,
like
I don't
circumference.
I don't know what the bulge. I don't know what the bulge is.
I could tell you what the bulge was.
Tell me, please.
Yeah. Tell us about the war, Grandpa.
This was in World War II, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell us about the war,
the
please.
battle, like in Normandy in France, or I guess it could have been in like Belgium and stuff too, in that area. The Germans basically counterattacked and surrounded like a section of Americans and almost had them encircled. And basically there was a bulge of Americans kind of stuck in Bastogne, I think was the main area. I'm probably fucking up this whole thing.
I'm glad
like
you
World
told
War
me
II
this,
history buffs are like,
I kind of thought it was going to be like a
but
hill or something, and I was going to go in feet.
I thought the
Bastogne
bulge
is in
was some
Belgium.
geographical term I was unaware of. So
I just want to make sure I'm getting this somewhat correct. Bastogne there was a siege in Bastogne. Bastogne, that's a town in Belgium. It's part of the Battle of the Bulge. Yeah, basically it was a German counteroffensive against the Americans, and the Americans almost got surrounded.
So we're going square miles, it sounds like.
Yes, but my question is like, is it across or the outer circle?
I don't know. I thought you were the history guy.
This is your
I'm
question.
asking what the question doesn't specify what we're measuring.
It says how big was the bulge?
Ay, caramba. Okay.
So we're guessing in square miles?
Square miles.
Okay. All right.
3, 2, 1.
20.
1,000
miles. That's good. So it was Craig's 20. I said 100. Heifetz said 1,000.
The bulge is the little area where the Americans were stuck, or where they were breaking the circle.
3,500 square miles.
3,500. Okay. Way too big. I went way too low, I should say.
What did you say? 1,000?
I said 1,000.
You said 1,000. Okay. DK, tough look for you.
Damn. Come on, DK. All right, so I mean, I guess that means I get Bucky.
Now I'm reading about the Battle of the Bulge.
Well, we have a show to do, so
save that for tonight on your lazy boy chair.
I get Bucky Irving. You now have to pick a running back. I think there's a very obvious answer, and I'm curious who you guys go with.
Ooh, there's a guy I really want.
Ooh, this is tough. Okay, so I guess I'm going to go with Rico Dowdle for the Cowboys. I think there's multiple options that you could choose here. Craig, I want to know who you're going to pick too, but basically, there's no other starting running backs on waivers right now other than Rico Dowdle, who has ascended to the top of the rotation with the Cowboys. Obviously, that hasn't ended up in much production, but he is dominating snaps right now relative to the other guys and carries. Last week, Hunter Lipke actually played way more than Zeke. Zeke only played 20% of the snaps. So he's like a distant third.
I think Rico Dowdle is a solid option if you're in a pinch, but that's not who I would. Craig, who are you going to take?
I agree. I mean, I had Rico on my list. I'm going with Braelon Allen. As somebody who spent a lot of money on Breece Hall, I'm a little worried about it. Breece is still getting a ton of work, but every time, like Braelon will spell Breece Hall for like a play or two when Breece is out of breath, and he'll get the ball and look better than Breece Hall. And it's a little worrying. He looks like a torpedo out there. He's the RB26 on the season right now, Braelon Allen. So yeah, they're playing Denver. Any game that's out of hand, he's going to get more work like he did against the Pats last week. Breece is still getting goal line, third down work, but dude, Braelon Allen looks really good. They're using him more and more every week. And they're basically like, they have no choice but to use him because he looks so good.
Braelon Allen is like the definition of what you want to keep on your fantasy bench. Like if you don't need a running back, like to play this, even then to your point, like he's still getting touches. He had 14 touches for 68 yards last week. Like you can get by in a pinch with a bye week with him, but Braelon Allen's the definition of what you want, because if Breece Hall misses any time, we are going to rank Braelon Allen as a top 10 running back every single week. And maybe he'll end up like top 5. It looks incredible. I totally agree. I think Braelon Allen could be like a Jordan Mason-esque league winning player if Breece Hall goes down. So I think you could take Braelon Allen over Bucky Irving if you don't really need a running back right now. I think he's easily the guy.
He's a true backup. Like he is the definition of a backup, and he has the same amount of points this year as Josh Jacobs, and he's outscored Najee Harris, Rico Dowdle, Zach Moss, Kenneth Walker got hurt. But like this, I mean, he's like borderline of flex right now.
And he's the youngest player in the league.
Yeah, he's 20.
This is like, I think the difficulty in this exercise is like, are we going for next week? Are we going for someone that can fill in and start right away, or someone who has the most value long term? I definitely would agree with you guys. Braelon Allen is maybe like the top handcuff right now in fantasy football. And he has a little bit of, he he's playable if you're really desperate, but could have, top tier upside if Brees gets hurt. So yeah, I like that a lot.
I think it's a balance to your question about what we're going for, because it's like, I think Braelon on a given week has seemed like he's just as good a play as Rico Dowdle. The difference is I don't think Rico Dowdle will ever be like a top 10 guy that will rank ahead of the week, whereas Braelon Allen would be. He's just a Brees Hall ACL away.
All right. Let's not put that into the world.
That got really dark. Sorry. Other guys just to throw out. The other one I was touring with was Roschon Johnson for the Bears. He didn't have some incredible game. He had 8 carries for 30 yards and he had another 4 catches, 32 yards. I just think DeAndre Swift sucks. And I think DeAndre Swift is going to get benched, and it's a matter of time. He's got the worst vision I've seen in the entire league this season. And frankly, the Bears offensive line kind of sucks, but that actually to me is the reason they're going to have to bench DeAndre Swift. They can't waste the handful of plays the Bears actually block correctly because the running back is not fucking hitting the hole. And I think that they have to give Swift a little time because they paid him too much money. But I actually think they're going to play Roschon Johnson and Khalil Herbert more. And I'll take Roschon because he gets the passing game work. But I think Roschon's way better.
Yeah, that's a nice one. I'd like to throw out Cam Akers. We don't know if Dameon Pierce or Joe Mixon are going to make it back next week. He didn't have a great game. He basically got saved by a touchdown, but they got blown out. They're playing the Jags next week. I think he's an option. Tonight on Monday night, the Jags are playing. Tank Bigsby is questionable. He played well week 1 before going down with a shoulder injury. He's another guy I think to keep on your radar because I don't think they want to lean on Travis Etienne too much. And Tank has looked better this year. So I think he's another guy. If he pops tonight, he will be atop the waiver priority list for a lot of people.
Emmanuel Wilson for the Packers. Did you guys mention him as well? He looked really good in this last game. I think he's entrenched himself as the number 2 back in Green Bay. AJ Dillon was on the IR. The whole Heifetz, the Bears backfield situation. I wanted to say Roschon Johnson as well, but man, I just feel like they don't understand. They don't have a good grasp of like how to utilize their personnel right now.
That's fair. It's
so
it's an
annoying.
Ugly situation.
Yeah,
that's totally fair.
But he did look really good in this last game, and he's a good pass catcher. He's a big physical back, downhill guy.
But Braelon Allen and Bucky, to your point, Braelon Allen and Roschon Johnson are different stratospheres of how excited you should be. Like Roschon Johnson, I'd cut in a moment to like if I had to add a kicker or something. Whereas Braelon Allen, I'd figure out how to fucking keep him no matter what. Yeah, I agree with all these. And also Carson Steele obviously would if like Chuba Hubbard or something is available and you're in like an 18-team league or something, we take Chuba Hubbard over all these dudes. He had a huge week. And then Carson Steele, if he's available, I feel like Carson Steele's rostered in most active leagues. So, he got 17 carries. I think Samaje Perine's the guy who's probably more likely available because you get like 6 touches. I think Perine's kind of like if there's like a bye week coming up, like you could grab him, stick him in, hope he gets a touchdown. I don't think he's going to be more than that.
Yeah, the Chiefs' rotation in this first game went pretty much exactly that.
They used Carson a decent amount.
17
but he gets
carries?
like a lot of like low value touches.
He was the best man.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got running backs, but Bucky Irving, Braelon Allen above all else, and Braelon Allen for the long term. Bucky Irving probably going to get a role pretty quickly. Okay, and also just note we're recording this before Monday Night Football, and there's 2 games tonight, so 4 teams. So keep an eye on anything happening, but specifically the Bills. If James Cook gets hurt, Ty Johnson and Ray Davis would have a lot more work. If Travis Etienne, anything happens to him, Tank Bigsby, and then Zach Moss of the Bengals, Chase Brown would pick up a lot of stuff. So I just keep that stuff in mind. 4 teams playing tonight. All right, let's go to receivers. I wonder who you guys think is the receiver out of the week from waivers. Craig, what do you think? Is it A.D. Mitchell from the Colts?
Calvin Austin, Steelers.
Yeah.
Big touchdown. Yeah. Probably go with him. I would say spend all your fab money on him. No, we're going to go, I assume, all with Jauan Jennings, my favorite player in the league, who I will do anything for. I consider him a brother. So I'm going with Jauan Jennings. What about you guys?
The overall wide receiver 2 in fantasy? Yeah.
3. Overall wide receiver 3 per game.
Okay.
The guy
My mistake.
Would have had one of the 5 best fantasy days of Jerry Rice's 20-year career.
Yeah, I think you can still ride this for at least a couple more weeks. Debo is hurt. Kittle is likely to be out for another week or 2. CMC's on the IR.
Enjoy it while it lasts. This is like a summer fling.
I will say this. Obviously, he'll never do that again. And then obviously also he's just as likely to hit you when you play him next week for like 2 catches and 14 yards and you feel like an idiot. Having said that, I'm not going to lie. I feel like Jauan Jennings actually did a bunch of stuff that like encapsulated everyone who went out. I feel like he did some stuff George Kittle did. He did some stuff Christian McCaffrey would do and a little touch of what Debo would do. Like the versatility was very Niners. And I think he's actually really talented. And he's not going to surpass, if Debo comes back, Kittle coming back and then Debo coming back, but he's not it wasn't like a total fluke. It just was outstanding.
They re-signed him before they re-signed Ayuk.
Yeah, right.
Never
and
forget.
Even when everyone's healthy, he is in the mix. Like he still gets, 3-4 catches a game, comes up with a big third down. He's not like completely out of the rotation.
DK called him the sixth man. He's quite literally the sixth man, but then he comes off and you're like, he is the sixth man
just
on that
comes
team.
off the bench and makes plays. He's so good.
Dion Waiters. All right. So we'll do Craig, you know what time it is.
It is the Jauan Jennings showdown time. No more war trivia. We got the war one out of the way. Come on.
Not quite.
By the way, for the record, I was saying how many miles across it was, not square kilometer or whatever. That's why
he's
so
like super agreed on that.
Well, I didn't understand the question, and I refused.
We did agree it was square miles, I believe.
I don't remember that part.
Okay.
Okay, what do we got, Heifetz?
Well, the war question. This one's from Derek.
Derek. Craig, this is how I feel every other time.
But it's not like we're experts in whatever else we're getting asked about.
All right, TK, how many battles were fought in World War II?
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, shoot.
Mister, I want battles.
Man,
how many battles?
This could expose me.
And if you're wondering, basically, how do you fact check that? The answer is how many battles, specifically, how many battles are listed on the Battles of World War II Wikipedia page? The full list of Wikipedia page for battles in World War II.
How quick could a battle be? Could you have a 2-day battle? Are we saying?
I think a battle is probably defined by some huge number of people committed to it, but
it's like a pond versus a lake. Yeah, like a skirmish is like a pond, and then a battle's like a lake, and then creek, river, ocean.
Battle's probably
is there
like
anything,
a minimum.
Is there
number
anything below a battle that is still is there a skirmish?
Skirmish, yeah, I think skirmish. To your point about how long it takes, I think in the Lord of the Rings, the 2 buildings, that one's about 40 minutes.
The battle is 40 minutes?
Well, I think in the movie it's 2 days, but it takes 40 minutes in the movie.
Okay. So all I'm asking is in your guys' DK, do you think a battle could be a few days, or is that not correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, battle could last several days. Yeah.
No, you're saying
I'm saying that's a short amount of time. Could a battle be an hour?
Yeah. I think a battle could be a couple hours.
Okay.
My guess is, and I don't know this, is it's probably there's a certain amount of manpower or machinery
we have
dedicated to a fight. I don't know.
We have soldiers, Marines, Navy SEALs, etc., listening to the show, listening to 3 podcasts, just be like, how long is a battle?
Long as it needs to be.
Email us at ringerfantasyfootball@gmail.com if you actually know how long a battle's supposed to be.
Man,
shout out to that listener who listens to our show, who is on an aircraft carrier, on a nuclear aircraft carrier, and whenever they get to port, they and gets internet back. He downloads our episodes, and he sets all his lineups for the entire season.
Downloads some pods.
He's just
couple texts from his family come in, ignores those.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Adds Jauan Jennings.
Yeah, just had a baby, and he just sent a thumbs up emoji to his sister, and then it's
DK, what kind of range are you thinking about number wise? Just so I have a ballpark here.
I think we've learned that I'm not the person to ask this question. I don't know. World War II is a massive thing. There was multiple theaters. Lasted 4-5 years.
Right. 39 to 44.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Of all the facts to drop on us, that was kind of funny.
What?
It's dropping how long World War II lasted.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know the exact time. It depends on when you have it start, I suppose.
39 to 44?
Yeah.
39 to 45? When? I don't know.
Because
wait, let me kind of just find this number.
I feel like Craig's mind has to stretch.
All right. Who cares? Who cares, really?
Ultimately. All right. Ready?
3, 2, 1. 1,000.
150. Okay. I'd probably guess low again.
What did you say?
150.
Heifetz, what'd you say?
I said 1,000 again.
Okay. All right. I'm not. All right. I'm
what
glad
did you
I'm
say,
in
Craig?
the zone. 2,000.
It's probably higher.
I just wanted a chance to. I just wanted a shot at the title.
Yeah. My thought process was battles were defined as something really big, but I'm
But I
probably
thought you just said they could be an hour.
No, it's not the duration of
just
the
how many people
it's
were
how many
involved?
people are committed to an actual battle. But
Well, you think the more people, the longer it would take. But yeah,
right. Right.
My entire thought process was I could name 10, and I bet I could name 1% of the battles.
Right. That's fair. I'm probably way low.
What is the answer is 3,500 miles. Oh wait, no, that's the other one. 311.
Oh,
there
DK, good for you.
What did I say? 150? Okay,
yeah,
about half. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
This is like the elephant one, though. We're gonna get an email and someone's gonna be like, "Actually, it was 35,000."
We gotta. I want to just Google how do you define a battle.
Yeah, people are gonna email us. We'll talk about this on Power Hour.
I'm just curious.
Okay, so DK, you get Jauan Jennings. I get to pick a second receiver here. I'm gonna go with Romeo Doubs for the Packers. He hasn't hit double-digit fantasy points though so far this season. Honestly, not gonna lie, you can kind of throw out the last 3 games. I think he's a buy low, but honestly, I think it's not a buy low. I think he's a cut. I think he's on waivers in your league because week 1, the Packers had the freaking weird turf in the Brazil game. And then week 2 and 3, it's been Malik Willis, a quarterback. But Jordan Love, I think Jordan Love's going to play next week. And frankly, like all the other Packers receivers are cooler, sexy. Jaden Reed, like he's a man's man. He gets all the handoffs and end arounds and short stuff, the design stuff. Christian Watson's huge and fast. Romeo Doubs just is where Jordan Love wants him to be. Like Romeo Doubs, like Jordan Love did the thing where he was like, name your perfect play. And he's like, I'll take Calvin Johnson and Jerry Rice and Romeo Doubs. Those are the people I want in the field. If I need a first down and my life depends on it. And I'm like, that's the connection he has. And there's no value of that when Malik Willis plays. But I think with Jordan Love coming back, Doubs is like the epitome of not cool, not sexy, not particularly amazing to watch. And also he's just going to randomly have 110 yards and a touchdown when you actually play him in your lineup at the flex.
I like it. I agree. All the Packers receivers are buy lows right now. Doubs has run more routes than anybody on the team.
Yeah, he's like the one guy that plays most of the game. They rotate everybody else.
Okay. I actually have 2 guys here I don't mind. I would also like to point out that when you asked Heifetz, when you asked the question, the trivia question, the first number that popped in my head was 400. And I said to myself, that's too small, you moron. You got to add more. Just want to point that out. That is a lesson. I always try to tell myself this. I always am like a go with your gut guy. And I didn't do it there. And I'm disappointed with myself.
Malcolm Gladwell wrote a whole book on that. That's the whole point of, now I can't, that's really funny. I can't remember the name of the book, but the thin slicing. But the point is just say the first number that pops in your head. See what happens.
What book are you talking about? Blink?
Yeah, Blink.
Yeah. But isn't there's another book called, I also can't remember that book's name. I think there's another book all about how you...
Wait,
this is such good radio.
Should we do a book club where we talk about books we can't remember what their names of or what they're about?
It's called like Think Twice or something. It's about how you should change your answer when you take a test. Like if you pencil in an answer and then you go back to it and you go, I don't think I'm right. Apparently, the people who change their answer are more likely to be right than the people who don't.
We should write a third book that's like some people want you to underthink and some people want you to overthink, and we wanted you to do right in the middle.
Just middle think.
Yeah, middle think.
Yeah, middle think.
That's pretty good. All right, who are you taking?
I'm on the fence between Quentin Johnston because the guy can't stop scoring touchdowns, or Darnell Mooney, who I think the Falcons think is the best player on the team.
Do you think that the new coaches in Atlanta just think that he's Drake London and Kyle Pitts?
They might.
They
might. They were like, what would Arthur Smith do? Feed it to the 4th best player in the team. They're playing the Saints. Quentin Johnston. The problem is Herbert's super banged up. His X-ray on his ankle came back negative, which is a good sign. They're playing the Chiefs. Joe Alt is going to be out a couple weeks with an MCL issue. I'm like, this could just be, and then they're going to go on bye. This could be a week where they just kind of bottom out, regroup in 2 weeks. But they are he is the red zone threat. I'm gonna go with QJ.
Go Frogs, as Kai would say. Yeah. Quentin Johnston. I think if Justin Herbert was healthy, I would go with Quentin Johnston. I like him. Again, just betting on a first-round guy who is better this year, no matter what happened last year, is smart. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
18th best player, best receiver in fantasy right now.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm getting some emails being like, how come Craig has not addressed the Josh Palmer thing? First of all, he had one bad game, week 1. Then he got hurt, was super banged up week 2, and then he missed last week. Like, was it a miss? Probably. But like, okay, you spend $1 on him. The whole point is you take shots later in the draft. Was he a guarantee? No. That's why it was $1. Also, I still think it's possible. I still think there's time. I think he's been hurt. So I just like to say that.
You really fucked up my last round pick, man.
Yeah, sorry. It's not like I recommended for you to take him in the first round.
We all have a Mike Davis.
Yeah.
DK's will come at some point too. Everyone's got a Mike Davis in their life.
DK's, yours will come.
I mean, I'm sure I've had plenty already.
The other person I like, Michael Wilson, the receiver for the Cardinals. He had 8 catches for 64 yards. I'm not going to lie. I feel like he's the demure T. Higgins.
Ooh.
Like he's not quite as big, but I think, I don't know, maybe it's just something about Arizona that Kyler makes everyone look larger, but like he just has like the big frame on that team, but he also has like ball skills. And I don't know. I feel like now that Greg Dortch is a little banged up, honestly, I think when those really small guys, like Dortch is 5'7", when those small guys get a little banged up, I think it's really tough for them to compete. And like, I don't know, Michael Wilson, 8 catches, 64 yards. And like, I think Kyler was looking at him a lot every time he was really pressing to Marvin Harrison Jr. and it wasn't working. But like Michael Wilson was open the whole game. And I feel like the Cardinals are going to be throwing all season.
He actually has more catches than Marvin Harrison does so far. They're not as valuable. 11 catches for 100 yards. But
yeah, he basically had 2 no-shows and then had a big game last week because they did such a great job doubling Marvin Harrison. But I agree, he's good. Every time he catches a pass, I'm like, is that a tight end I don't know about? And then it gets up and it's Michael Wilson. He's a big dude.
T. Higgins, baby. Demure T. Higgins. Mindful and demure. So, yeah. And also, Cardinals play Washington next week. So if you're one of those teams that has like Debo and A.J. Brown and you're fucked, again, maybe we'll see. Watch Washington just shut out the Bengals tonight. But I will say now, I think the Bengals are going to rock Washington. I think Washington's defense is very bad. And I think as long as you're listening to this in Cincinnati, I think probably, ironically, I'm curious if the real T. Higgins has torched Washington. I think that Michael Wilson and the Cardinals will do totally fine streamer if you're injury prone. Any other receivers you guys want to mention?
I think that Alan Lazard is still out there for a lot of people. I think the way that teams are double teaming Garrett Wilson and focusing so much of their defense on him, he's going to pop in some games. Obviously, I think he's going to be kind of volatile week in and week out. But he's best friends with Aaron Rodgers, and that matters in fantasy. I'm sorry to say. Yeah. Wan'Dale Robinson for the Giants. Austin Gale brought this up to us the other day. The Giants have like a pass it to the Italian style offense with Malik Neighbors and Wan'Dale Robinson. Malik Neighbors has a 38% target share, and Wan'Dale has a 25% target share. And that's like basically the only 2 guys that get targets in this offense. He's clearly getting the far less valuable ones because he's the easy button underneath guy, gadget type player. But you know, if you're in a PPR league, he's getting a ton of targets at the very least.
Yeah. I'd like to also throw out Jalen Naylor, the rookie from Minnesota, who has had 2 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks. He had a 3rd called back yesterday. Looks really good. And as long as Jordan Addison's out, I think Naylor is like 100% worth a play. I mean, Sam Darnold leads the league in touchdowns right now. I also love that he wears 83. That's a cool retro move out of Naylor.
Can I ask you guys a serious? This is like the most important thing I'm going to say on the show the whole year.
It's like wearing bell bottoms.
Craig, are we so old that in our lifetime all the receivers wore the numbers in the 80s, and then they went to the teen numbers, the single digits and double digits as revenge, and now the players are going back to the 80s because they just grew up seeing all these guys in the teens? Like, are we so old that guys are going to go back to the 80s?
I bet. That's a great call. They think that, everybody wears teens. Like, I want to do something different.
They're like, oh, that retro shit, like Calvin Johnson.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's like when you're like, my dad used to wear Asics and Champion sweatshirts. I'm going to do that.
God damn it. Ugh. All right. So those are the receivers. Again, what I got Jauan who got who? I got
Jauan Jennings.
Oh yeah. And then I'm taking Romeo Doubs, and then you took Quentin Johnston over Michael Wilson. And then the disgusting ones, as DK said, from New York, Lazard and Wan'Dale Robinson. All right. Tight ends. I just want to note this. This doesn't count because Dallas Goedert was the number 1 tight end of the week, which single-handedly made him the number 1 tight end of the season. I just want to note the biggest platform disparity I've ever seen, and I imagine one of the biggest disparities ever, is that Dallas Goedert is owned in 91% of Yahoo leagues, but 26% of ESPN leagues. I've never seen anything like that. I think that's just like...
It's bizarre.
I don't know, honestly, how that's really possible, but like, it's hard to imagine having a bigger number than 66% disparity. So if you're on an ESPN league, check if Dallas Goedert's there. But we're not going to count him for this because that seems a little insane to fight over the number 1 tight end.
Goedert had 22 points last week alone, which if you just took that week, that would make him the tight end 7 on the season. Just that one game.
Insanity.
Should we just skip the tight ends here or what? Like, what's the point?
Wait, I think we should do. Should we do the thing where we like have like a small animal or something, like pick a random tight end, maybe my cat, or like a rodent or something, just picks a cat.
There's been 11 tight end touchdowns so far this year through 3 weeks. I mean, Dallas Goedert had 170 yards, still couldn't score. There's been 11 touchdowns by tight ends. 10 years ago, that number was 43 through 3 weeks. 11.
Okay, why don't we give our picks, and then I'm going to just pick a random tight end on my computer by total randomness. That's a free agent in my league.
Okay, my pick is Tyler Conklin for the Jets.
Okay. Do you want to give a reason?
Sure. 93 yards last week, 5 catches, look good. He's playing the second most snaps of any tight end in the NFL right now, only behind Kate Otten, which I'm pretending to ignore. Playing home versus Denver this week, I think he has Aaron Rodgers' trust. Good, competent player. He's been around for a while. Been playing a lot his whole career, basically, and now he finally has a competent quarterback. So I like Conklin. I don't think his ceiling is super duper high, but I think he could be like a reliable low-end starter for you if you need him.
Yeah, fill-in guy. I had Cole Kmet, but Conklin was on my list as well. The Bears, again, I don't think they know what they're doing with their personnel. They're trying to figure out like who their good players are, even though everyone seems to already know that outside of the building. But yeah, Cole Kmet, I think he's by far their best tight end. He proved that in this last week, 10 catches, 97 yards, a touchdown. He played 81% snaps, which is great. He ran a route on 73% of the team's dropbacks, which is pretty good. 23% target rate, great. However, he didn't do any of that in weeks 1 and 2, so I don't know how they're going to utilize him going forward. Coaches have this weird habit of rotating players, even though one guy's clearly better than the other. And I think Kmet is clearly better than Gerald Everett at this point. Like Gerald Everett is basically a 0. I think he has like 1.5 fantasy points this year. Dude. He's just not doing anything. He's a receiving tight end who doesn't do any receiving. So
I feel terrible.
He's looked awful.
I agree, Dick. I had Cole Kmet as my number 1 tight end. I had Tyler Conklin as my number 2. I told people you could drop Cole Kmet last week, and I felt really safe about it because they were playing Gerald Everett over him again as the receiving guy. I was like, Kmet's out there basically blocking, even though they gave him a contract extension a year ago. So, I apologize if anyone did that. I would add Cole Kmet back, which it's really desperate and sad when you're that little waiver person who cuts and then you add, and it's really sad. But yeah, that's me.
I mean, the problem with the Bears, I don't think it's like a huge loss if you already dropped him. Like, I wouldn't panic about it. It's obviously, but like the Bears threw 52 or 53 times this last week. That's not going to happen every week. Probably won't actually happen again this season. So he definitely took advantage of like a high volume passing game. But I don't know. I'm like the only guy in the world, I think, who thinks Cole Kmet's pretty good. I think they should just get him more involved in the offense, I think.
But I agree, though, with both of you, because I also think Tyler Conklin, for everything you said, Craig, like Aaron Rodgers, he said it himself. Every team's going to double Garrett Wilson the entire season, and the other guys have to win. And it's just
do we want to do
right now.
Trivia for Cole Kmet for you two, and I'll just jump in?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
By the way, real quick, before we get to it, I want to say one thing. The Bears' 2 big like offensive acquisitions this offseason, DeAndre Swift and Gerald Everett, like pretty much zeros at this point.
Well, also, the Bears. Do you remember we did the Adam Schefter drinking game? The Bears were the first person to sign anyone. They did the 12:01 p.m. Schefter tweet of like they just couldn't wait to get the DeAndre Swift contract done. I feel like they misread the whole running back market. It was insane. I just and he doesn't fit the team. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah.
Anyway, continue.
All right, it is the Cole Kmet showdown time. Ooh, we just
actually heard that gong.
It's just satisfying.
Kai got that gong, and
yeah.
Kai got that gong.
This one's from Matt.
Matthew. Is it another battle one?
Yeah, everyone listened to you when you bitched and said, "I want battle ones."
This is a joke.
Look, fine. I'll never complain again in my life. All right.
My God.
We're going to need 2 topics. We can only do so many battle ones. Definition of a battle is pretty good. All right. This one's from Matt. Matt says, how many troops did Napoleon bring to the Battle of Waterloo?
Ooh, that's a great question. I literally just watched Napoleon.
Well, you better get this fucking right.
By the way, not a great movie. Didn't love it.
How many? Yeah, the question could have been, how many cannonballs did they fire at the pyramids?
Oh, I don't remember that one.
That was in the trailer for the movie, wasn't it? That they blew up one of the pyramids.
Yeah, weren't they? They also shot the nose off of the Sphinx or something like that. They shot.
I think that was alive in the. That I think.
Oh, really?
How was the movie? Happened. Bad. I didn't watch it.
It was just really. I don't know. It was weird. It basically just follows him doing a bunch of battles and being weird with his Josephine woman that he like married and then divorced. And I don't know. It's just like alternated between him being really awkward and weird and then these battles. And there was no like fluid storyline. And then the movie was over all of a sudden. I don't know. It was bizarre. I thought
it was long, right? Wasn't it like 2.5 hours?
Yeah.
How was Joaquin?
I mean, Joaquin's great. I just thought the way they built the movie, it was like, it felt like it was missing a lot of details, and like, I didn't really understand anything, and they didn't really explain. I had to go and like read the Wikipedia article and be like, what happened here? You know what I mean?
Wow,
like,
that's a horrible review.
Yeah.
I had to read a Wikipedia article after. That's how I felt during the entire
it's like after he went and
podcast.
invaded Russia, he came back, he was defeated, or he came back, and on the way out, they lost like almost the entire army. And then he was basically kicked out of France to Elba. But they didn't explain any of that. It's like you had to have had prior knowledge of
They didn't
what
explain
all
that.
happened.
Oh, that reminds me of how Once Upon a Time in Hollywood didn't explain the Manson family thing at all. So my brother, who did not know about the name Cielo Drive, saw the entire Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and didn't realize it was about Charles Manson until I told him like a week later.
Oh my God.
Wait, he saw the whole movie and didn't realize it was about Manson?
No, he didn't really, because he didn't know the character. He didn't know the Manson thing. So he didn't know about the Roman, what's his face. He didn't know about her. He didn't know
But
about
they
Cielo
show
Drive.
Charles Manson in the movie.
Oh, so no, you're right. You're right. He was like, yeah, they just kind of dropped that at the end. That was random, wasn't it? And I was like,
That's right.
no, they built it up the whole time. But he was like, no, it's kind of weird.
This is. I bet you this was in the movie. I just can't remember. It was. There was one note that like he brought, I think 800 or 900,000 troops to Russia, and only like 30 or 40 came back. It was like crazy.
Well, that seems super pertinent to the how many troops did he bring to the Battle of Waterloo?
So I don't think it was that many.
Okay.
All right.
Clocking that. Yeah, I guess I'm ready. I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
Hold on.
Right.
Let me think.
DK, I'm not gonna lie. If you don't get this, it's really tough for you.
Okay.
You saw the Napoleon
I'll
movie within the last week.
Well, you know what? I'd had a couple whiskeys while I was watching it. My memory's not what it used
As
to
you
be.
should.
We should do substance-based trivia. You know, the problem is you got to do 2 whiskeys before you do the show.
This is tough. Okay.
3, 2, 1.
80,000.
100,000.
I said 700 like a pizza oven.
That's not, I don't think you said 700 total.
Yeah, well, you just told me he brought 40 guys back.
No, 40,000.
40,000.
Oh, fuck.
But also, how many guys he brought
like
back?
he brought 40 guys back.
Wasn't the question how many he brought there to the war? To the
You
battle?
said he went there with however many and came back with 40. I thought you meant 40 people. You meant 40,000?
He said they took 800,000, came back with 40,000.
Oh, fuck.
I might have said 40, but I meant 40,000.
You did say 40, but I assumed.
You said 30 or 40. And I'm like, all right, didn't have that many guys.
30 or 40K.
What did you say?
I said 100. I said 100, I think.
Okay.
And then
I said 80,000.
I had 40.
Wait, no, what did I say? Shit.
I hope
You
it
said
is
100.
I hope
Okay.
it's 1,000 people and Heifetz wins.
The answer is 72,000.
Oh, damn. Craig was real
Craig,
close.
you almost got that
Nice
on
job.
the nose.
Wow.
So the Battle of Waterloo. Again, I watched the movie, the decisive final defeat.
It's because I love the song
Roll
Waterloo by
Napoleon.
ABBA.
Yeah, when we have the TikTok generation directing movies, they're going to actually put the Waterloo soundtrack over it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, this is good then that I won because I was going to take Conklin anyway, and now you guys had to battle over.
Oh, yeah,
Kmet.
wait. So I guess DK gets
Yeah, I get Kmet.
Kmet. That's fine. I will take Tucker Kraft, the tight end of the Packers. Tight end's a fucking wasteland.
Oh, that's a good one.
And
I like that one.
It's the same thing as what I said about Romeo Doubs. It's like Tucker Kraft's playing. The 2 people who played the most and don't leave the field for the Packers are Romeo Doubs and Tucker Kraft. He's their tight end. Nate Tice, our buddy, does great work. He calls him a 4-down tight end. He's a 4-down player. He can do everything. And they're using him. He's just on the field. He's doing. I think he's going to be way better when Jordan Love comes back. Don't bother with what he's done with Malik Willis. It's not relevant. When Jordan Love comes back, this offense is going to be awesome. And I think, frankly, like if there's any tight end that might be water in the desert as like an actual reliable, quote unquote reliable by tight end standards, I think it's Tucker Kraft. So I'll take him. I also am going to close my eyes. I have the entire list of like 50 tight ends available on waivers in the league I'm in with my brother and his friends. And I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to pick one randomly and let's see if this person beats any of the ones we just picked. Okay. And I picked the guy and I got Theo Johnston for the Giants.
You know what's funny about Theo Johnston is I was looking up stats about routes, who's running the most routes, who's playing the most snaps. Theo Johnston is running a route, Giants tight end, on 70% of team dropbacks. That's higher than Tucker Kraft, Mark Andrews, Brock Bowers, Noah Fant. I'm like, what the?
All right, let's see. Let's keep track. Let's see if the random tight end I pick with like Nana Poo can just like beat our picks every week. The other person I'll say is Zach Ertz, who's on Monday Night Football tonight, and also I know Mike Gesicki's out there too. But we'll see if Zach Ertz like scores tonight. I think Zach Ertz is also like right up here with these guys.
I also think I think this guy might be a little bit too rostered. But if people start to drop Pat Freiermuth, I just like feel like he's coming on a little bit. He's playing a lot. They really have no other option. Fields is working over the middle a bit more. I think there's a chance that like by the end of the season, Freiermuth is much more involved in the offense.
Yeah, I think that's solid. All right, so quarterback, you mentioned the Steelers. Justin Fields, I still think is like the biggest add. If he's still available in your league, I would add him. I think that he's only going to get better as the season goes on. I think the last 3 weeks you've seen are his scoring floor. Like again, the Steelers, the teams who are 3-0 and have 3 touchdowns in the history of the NFL are like the Bills in 1984 and the Steelers. Like
yeah,
this
he
is the floor.
he had 19 points last week. Not bad.
Yeah. So I think Fields I would add. Andy Dalton, I won't like the Jauan Jennings thing won't be as good as it was last week, but I actually think the Panthers offense will be. I think the defense is bad enough. They're going to be in shootouts all the time. So like Andy Dalton and Sam Darnold. I kind of would take like a Darnold and Andy Dalton over like Matt Stafford in this diminished state without Cooper Kupp and Puka. Like I would say Sam Darnold and Andy Dalton are going to outscore Stafford going forward. I think they could outscore Aaron Rodgers going forward. So a lot of people are asking us about Anthony Richardson and whether you should bench him. And I mean, please don't panic on Anthony Richardson. But yeah, if you want to add Sam Darnold to make yourself feel better, that works.
Do you guys think there's a single quarterback in the league you would start other than Justin or instead of Justin Herbert? You wouldn't start instead of Justin Herbert.
Now that Bryce Young's been benched for Dalton,
it's like maybe Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, I think Brissett's the worst by a lot. I think Brissett is the worst by
and
Skylar Thompson. Skylar Thompson's the worst. Skylar Thompson played most of the game last week. He got 4 points. And then if you don't count Skylar or Brissett, then yeah, it's probably like Minshew Levis. Yeah, Minshew
I think
Levis.
I'd start Levis. Levis is at least like running around and doing stuff.
Yeah, Herbert.
It's just crazy.
By the way, I was fact checking myself. It was only about 600,000 that Napoleon took to Russia. Just to be clear. And I don't know exactly the number that came back, but it was very small relative to that number.
Yeah, like 40, 30.
Anywhere from 50 to 100,000, I think.
All right. Defenses to stream this week. I think there's a few. So the Chiefs, I think the Chiefs going to play the Chargers this week. I think it might be Taylor Heineke. We'll see. But Joe Alt, as Craig mentioned, the right tackle will be out, and then Rashawn Slater has a pec injury. I just think the Chiefs, if Taylor Heineke is the quarterback, I think the Chargers are in a bad place. The Bears, they're playing Stafford and the Rams. I know the Rams just had this really good game against the Niners. Kind of don't care. I mean, the Rams, I mean, with the state of their offensive line, without Cooper Kupp, without Puka Nacua, like this is still like a gnarly team coming off a win like that. It's emotional. A lot of young guys. I don't think they're gonna have like flea flickers with receivers throwing a 2-2 at will 50 yards to save the game all the time. Raiders defense is awful, but they are playing Cleveland, and it's still like Max Crosby, and like they had 8 sacks and Deshaun Watson. That's kind of a little uglier when you just saw what they did to the Panthers. But I will say, if you're really like desperate and you're in a deeper league, I mean, Cleveland is giving up the most sacks in like the history of the Browns, which is saying something. I don't know if I would do that, but before I would do that, the Titans playing the Dolphins, Miami, and Tim Boyle. Like the Titans defense has been pretty solid. I would play the Titans. Miami Tim Boyle is pretty fine. And also I think the Broncos defense is good. I don't know if you want them right now because they're playing the Jets and Rodgers, who doesn't really do turnovers, but like then they get the Raiders and then the Chargers, maybe Herbert's hurt. I think the Broncos defense has actually come on pretty strong. So yeah.
I love it.
Are we doing Kai's guys? What's up? Is Kai going to pick one of our teams?
Yeah. Did he pick last week?
Yeah. Kai, get in here.
Also, doesn't Kai have some food to try?
I believe he does. Yeah, Kai. So
we should do a better job of keeping track of this. I feel
I'm on top of this, baby. I got this handled. So Kai, for those who don't know, Kai's keeping track of the guys we pick, and then he picks a team. And unless he gets it right of who gets the most points, Kai has to try a new food because Kai has what I'll generously call a limited palate, of which we are trying to politely request that he expands his imagination of what he's willing to try.
I think that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said about me. So thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, I technically haven't lost this week, but I'll give you the recap.
Did we can decide
what we want to do it. I haven't won. I haven't lost. There's some Monday night guys.
There's some games happening.
So do we want the recap of today's pod or last week's pod first? Which way do we want to go?
Do last week.
Okay. Last week I picked Heifetz because he went with QJ. He had Ty Chandler who scored a whopping 1.3 fantasy points.
Not so great.
Quentin Johnston got in the end zone again, 11.4.
Damn.
And Hunter Henry with equally whopping 1.9 fantasy points for a total of 14.6. It's
gonna be tough to beat.
That's what I'm working with. Now DK has 10.4 and counting. He had Samaje Perine with 5.5 points, Alec Pierce 4.9, and Zach Ertz still to play tonight.
Nice.
So I need Zach Ertz
You got
to
a
have
shot.
4+ points or something like that, right?
Well, yeah.
5?
Craig has the best chance here, though. Bucky Irving had 9.9 points. Demarcus Robinson had 3.7, and Brenton Strange still to play. So you have 13.6. You're 1 point behind Heifetz.
Ooh.
For Brenton Strange, though, that's that's risky.
I have a proposal, which is we just admit defeat.
No.
Kai and I here admit defeat. Kai tries the Oreos. And if I actually end up winning because you guys couldn't do it Monday Night Football, then Kai has us eat something.
Sure.
If Kai actually does pull this one out.
Okay, I'm into that.
A debt. So
I
think
Kai's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So Kai, I think so.
Yeah,
We
I regret it
a very
already.
special thing happened for those who have not been following. We have an obsession with Oreos. They're little freaks. Like whatever the fuck they're doing over at Oreo, they got all these weird fucking flavors and the lemon and the
weird little freaks.
Even their
coffee
regular,
and-
even their traditional normal flavor. I don't really know what that is either, but it's really
dirt
good.
cake. Yeah, what flavors in Oreo? Yeah. Anyway, so we've been on this all summer. What the fuck's with the Oreos? So anyway, Kai, you have procured something very special.
I have some here. Some Oreo. No, some Coke flavored Oreos.
Coke
For the
Zero.
record, I also purchased the Oreo flavored Coke. If you'd like
You
me
have
to
the
try
Oreo
that as
flavored
well.
Coke and the Coke flavored Oreos?
I do. I have both. So I could wash down a Coke flavored Oreo with an Oreo flavored Coke. Even though I haven't lost yet. Let me make that very clear.
Wait, is it Coke Zero flavored Oreos?
I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I
and
think
then is it Oreo flavored Coke Zero, the drink?
I believe I still can't believe that this exists, but I do
Are
think
there
that's
0
right.
grams of sugar in these Oreos? I just
There's
love
no
that it's
chance.
Coke Zero Oreos.
Yeah, they're vegan. Yeah, vegan Coke Zero Oreos. I think so.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love
think
the
he
idea.
does-
of
I
you-
think you eat the Oreo and wash it down with the Coke
I
Zero.
agree.
I have a question first before you eat those things. Do you eat Oreos normally?
Oh, it's a great question. So I love Oreos. I hate Coke.
Okay.
So I really don't know where I'm going to land.
Do you like
I
any soda?
despise Coca-Cola.
I hate Coke.
I
like soda?
love soda. Love Dr. Pepper.
That's a great note because a smarter show, like a different show, might have waited until Coca-Cola sponsored us doing this.
No, we go first.
Yeah, a smarter show also probably wouldn't have done this at all. But
I couldn't be honest about my Coke hatred then, though, right? I have to be like,
it's good.
ooh,
Correct.
excited about
that's
this.
why we do it.
That's why we do it.
All right, Kai. You
All right,
start with
fire
the
us up.
Oreo and then give us the review, and then you can wash it down.
Okay. There's a lot of editing that's going to go on with this, I imagine. So
Can you just get all the mouth sounds of you?
also don't
eating
want to
into
just
the
make
show.
an entire mess on my desk here. It's very like
Pop the whole
it's
thing
nice.
in. Also, can you please give it a smell test before?
Yeah. Tell us what you're.
Of
While Kai
course.
opens it.
I could smell it already. It smells like Coke. That's disgusting. That was crazy. This is wild.
Disgusting.
Yeah, hold the
Kai,
package up for the camera.
Yeah,
here,
I
Kai.
will.
We're gonna put
Hold
this
on.
online.
Kai, what's your
I
favorite
just-
soda if you don't like Coke?
Dr. Pepper. I love it.
Okay.
It's like
It's wild
runs
to me
through
that
my
you don't
veins.
like Coke, but you love Dr.
Can you see
Pepper.
this?
I
They're
do
not that
think. I
different.
also think.
Oh my God, it's red.
red.
It's
Oh,
red and white and
wow.
and yeah. So, but it actually smells like Coke. Like that's really strange. Hold on.
I love that Kai's bar for disgusting is
Does it smell like
Most
Coke?
widely loved product on the planet Earth.
Okay. Are we ready for this? Is it time?
Yeah. Are
Yeah,
you
let's do
ready?
it.
Is the question.
I'm not ready at all.
Okay.
He did half the thing.
Oh, we can hear him chewing.
Oh, it's kind of satisfying to hear. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's a nice
It's
crunch.
making me hungry. I want one.
It kind of tastes pretty tame. Like it tastes like an Oreo. There's not a lot of Coke. Like it smells like Coke than tastes like Coke to me.
Interesting.
Also, it said that there's like popping candy in here. I'm not really getting that.
God,
I'm
dude,
not
what are we
excited
doing?
about that
Candy?
part.
Like Pop Rocks?
Yeah.
That's how I felt about the
So it's supposed
Sour
to be like
Patch
fizzy.
Oreos.
What's the mouth feel like?
It's like a regular Oreo. It's a little bit.
Still tastes like an Oreo.
Yeah, I don't know. With like a hint. Like
Hint
an
of Coke?
aftertaste of Coke, which is weird. Like I wouldn't buy them again, but
But
they're
not,
better
He's
than
eating
I
them.
thought.
He's eating
not
them.
offensive.
You're putting them down.
Oreos are great. It's kind of hard to mess up an Oreo, but I thought this
All right,
would
well,
be
then you pop this Oreo flavored Coke Zero. Wash it down.
that sounds atrocious, but I'll do it.
Horrific. Atrocious.
Yeah, on here it just says Oreo Coca-Cola with popping candy. So that's
But you didn't feel any of the
what it
pops,
is.
huh?
You know, it's like
No.
in the meeting where they like, hey, let's do Coca-Cola flavored Oreos. And everyone was like, great. And one guy was like, wait, we're missing something.
It's a
We
home and
can't
away.
just combine the two greatest flavors on earth. What if we add Pop Rocks to it? What are we doing?
Pop Rocks.
Every day
Just a
we
sprinkle
stray
of Pop Rocks.
every day we stray further from God. That's my take on all of this. So
Hey, these are abominations to society. All right, we're back with Kai. Kai has his Oreo flavored Coke. I keep having to think about it to make sure I get it right. He had Coke flavored Oreos, and now he's having Oreo flavored Coke.
it's tough.
Please show the can. Oh, you bought a
of
12
course.
pack.
You bought a
Unfortunately-
12-pack.
I searched far and wide for like a 6-pack, but unfortunately that just, you can only get 10 of these guys because there's just, so high in demand. It says here, limited edition Oreo, 0 sugar, fizzy cookie flavored. Fizzy cookie flavored is what this is.
Why did they
think
add fizz to the soda? The soda, like, why did they have to do that?
Well, because it has to be fizzy cookie flavored.
But I thought the Pop Rocks was to simulate the
Soda.
carbonation in a cookie. But why do you have to add that? It's soda. It's obvious.
They should have
I don't know.
added cookie crumbles to the drink.
Honestly, that's a fucking sick idea. I would love that.
like I
There's just
should,
bits
like-
of cookie in
You
it.
have to chew it a little bit.
That's disgusting. I feel like I should like keep one of these. Like I feel like in 15 years it's going to be worth like
It's a collector's
insane
thing.
amount.
Yeah,
of
they're
money.
like, what? Yeah.
They'll need it to study your body and determine what went wrong.
Just keep it. When did capitalism go too far? It's like
Is
a
when I
rich
had
solitude.
the Coke flavored Oreo and the Oreo flavored Coke. That's when it went too far. Okay.
It belongs in a museum.
That was the tipping point.
I haven't eaten lunch yet either, by the way, so this is good.
Just get a projectile.
Smells like
vomit.
Coke.
It's a lunch of.
Smells like Coke.
Oh. That is not good. It tastes kind of like an Oreo. This one tastes more like an Oreo than that one did like a Coke.
That sounds kind of good to me. Anything
But
that
you
tastes like an
like
Oreo
Oreos.
sounds good to me.
I don't think that would be
It's
good.
weird. And this one I checked this one is still 0 calories. So what they're doing.
Oh, good. Good.
What
I'm
is
not
that-
sure.
How does that work?
I'm glad
I
they
think this
figured out
might
how
be
to
the end for me.
How the fuck do you make Oreo flavor 0 calories and 0 sugar and then put it inside of a Coke?
Someone email us at ringerfantasyfootball@gmail.com. So how Oreo Coca-Cola doesn't have calories. That's wow. So Kai, tell us what you're smelling, what you're feeling. Would you
Yeah.
drink this?
No, I would not drink this.
Is it
I'm
cold?
gonna take another
Are you drinking
sip.
it cold?
Yeah, it's real cold. It's unfortunate because every time I open I have a lot of mini Dr. Peppers. And so it's like the same, everything felt right except for the taste. And then I was like, oh God, this is Oreo Coke. And I still have the aftertaste of the Coke Oreo.
So which is better if you had to have one?
Oh God, that's
cookies.
horrible. That's really bad. I'm so out on that.
Horrible.
You guys should try that. Like it tastes like an Oreo. It's really strange. I don't understand it.
I might try one of these on the live stream tomorrow. I might have to do that.
That was pretty bad. I would probably give the Oreo like maybe like a 5 out of 10 because it's still pretty Oreo-y.
Not bad.
Yeah, I don't think I'd have it again, but I don't fully regret it. This I regret a lot, and I think it was probably give it like a 2 out of 10, 2.3. A little bit of Oreo flavor.
What's like a
fun.
1? Like eating shit?
Cheese.
Cheese is a 1.
Cheese is number
cheese is
1.
a
and
one.
then-
Lettuce on the sandwich.
Salad. Yeah. I've never had a salad, so if you guys want to like throw that in there.
Salad. A salad is a 1?
What'd you say?
I've
You've
never
never
had
had a
one.
salad?
Yeah, I've never eaten one before
Never
in
had
my
a
life. So if that's on
The body is
menu at
resilient.
some
Like,
The
point.
human body is so resilient.
Like, has anyone ever been like, would you like to try a bite of this?
Probably, and I just probably rebuffed them. I was like,
have you ever eaten any like greens?
Have you had
any vegetables ever? Yeah, I like broccoli. But
have you had like a single piece of like romaine lettuce?
Not that I can remember. I'm not lying. It's not a bit. I couldn't tell you. I don't get lettuce on my burgers. I've never had a salad. Where else does lettuce pop up? I wouldn't know.
It's mostly on sandwiches and salads, I suppose.
Yeah.
So you'll have like a grilled vegetable, like next to a steak, you'll have broccoli.
Yeah, I'll have broccoli. I'll have green beans. Those are like really go-tos. I'm trying to think if there are any other vegetables out there.
If there's a third, you could corn. Great. You could get corn, green beans, and broccoli. Put it in a bowl. That's a salad.
Oh,
you got a salad going there.
Yeah, you're very close to a salad. You could even mix in a little steak. You got yourself a steak salad.
Wow. Okay. Now we're cooking with gas.
Yeah. Right, yeah. You should think about that.
We're literally just teaching about the concept of mixing different foods together.
It's novel. It's wonderful. I can't wait until Brenton Strange scores like 0.3 fantasy points and I didn't have to do this and I'm going to regret. I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of these either.
Kai thinks of the worst thing he could make us eat and he just has us eat like cheeseburgers with salad.
He's like, you guys have to have chicken tenders and ketchup.
I don't like ketchup, but yeah. I get the gist. But yeah, that was I would say that was a good time. I would not recommend this to really anyone, but 0 calories. So there's that.
Kai, thank you for your service.
Of course.
Yeah, good job, Kai.
Thank you, Kai.
Do you want to hear about this week's pod and who else to pick?
Oh, yeah.
Please list our lineups and select your team.
Okay, this week, Heifetz has Bucky, Irving, Romeo, Doubs, and Tucker Kraft. DK has Rico, Dowdle, Jauan, Jennings, and Cole Kmet. Craig has Braelon Allen, Quentin Johnston, and Tyler Conklin. I mean, I got to be me, right?
Let's go.
I don't know how to be anyone else. I gotta go with QJ. He scored again.
Yep.
He hasn't. Well, he might let me down tonight. We'll see. At least he wasn't the weak link of that. That three leg team right there. So
no, he was the workhorse for Heifetz's team last week.
Exactly. He's keeping me in it. So I'll go QJ. I also have Breece Hall and Braelon Allen. So, I've got some love for Braelon Allen over there. So yeah, let's do it.
Wonderful.
All right.
Amazing. Thank you, Kai. All right. Let's do a couple emails here before we get out of here. Real quick, I wanted to shout out Corey who emailed us. He's a Charlotte local.
Corey.
They updated the sign at the Dilworth bar. You know that bar where the David Tepper walked in because they had the sign and he flipped the guy's head off. They updated the sign. Corey drove by it, texted us a picture, and it is the sign just says now, best game in years. Thanks.
What did it used to say?
The sign that made David Tepper, the Panthers owner, stop in was basically like, hey, Dave, let the GM make the picks because it's on the way to the stadium. He drives by it. And so they're like, hey, Dave, please let the GM make the picks. Because that was like right around when it was like, yeah, Stroud probably was what the GM wanted. So yeah, there you go.
Fighting with a billionaire using like a small sign outside of a restaurant is fucking hilarious.
Ballsy. Also, it's David Tepper who literally said in an interview, like in a fucking interview, he said, if a waiter's mean to him at a restaurant, he thinks about buying the restaurant just to fire the waiter.
Maybe they're trying to sell their restaurant.
Just trying to get out. They're like, let's piss off the billionaire until he
buys.
He's
like, you won't spend $10 million on this. You don't have $10 million.
Fuck, that's dude. Wait, there's like a Nathan for you there of like, all right, yeah, how do we make money here? It's like, hey, we're just gonna piss off the richest guy in the world until he buys your fucking restaurant.
Yeah, challenge the manhood of a billionaire, and they'll just buy whatever you want them to prove that they're successful.
Oh my god. All right, next one here is from Andy.
Andrew.
All right, DK, you know how I've been making fun of the Rice football program and you called me out for it?
Yeah.
All right, well, this one's from Andy. On the subject of disparaging Rice, Heifetz looks like he might be, for once, in good company. JFK.
For once.
JFK considered... I know, for once. JFK,
where's this going?
Considered Rice's futility to be so futile in football that in his famous "We choose to go to the moon" speech, JFK added by hand a line, the literal line, "Why do we climb the highest mountains? Why do we cross the Atlantic? Why does Rice play Texas?
Are you serious?
Yes.
This was in the speech?
I couldn't believe this, so I looked it up. JFK gave the speech of going to the moon at Rice University.
Wow.
He gave it at Rice on the football field. And literally, Kai, I want you to play this. I want you to play the speech because I can't do JFK impression, but he literally says, why?
Craig can.
What? Oh, yeah,
why does Rice play Texas?
Wait, here, wait, I highlighted it for you, Craig. Wait, read this shit. I just said it to you. Do your JFK accent.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good. Wait, read that. I said it to you. Read that.
Oh, God. But why some say the moon? Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why 35 years ago, fly the Atlantic? Why does Rice play Texas?
Oh my God.
I think I started to get off of it a little bit, but his Massachusetts ass accent. But it's subtle. It's not like hard mass. It is hard mass, but not in like the Rosillo way.
I don't know why that's so funny.
JFK, Massachusetts, not the Rosillo way.
You know what I mean.
Oh
my God.
So the Rice, holy shit, I had no idea about that. I was like, why did he bring up Rice? So yeah, anyways, for generations, people have been disparaging Rice, I guess.
Sure. Ask not what your country can do for you.
That's pretty good. Craig, have you ever done the JFK before?
Yes.
Or is that literally your first try?
I have not. No, I've never had to pull that out.
That was pretty good. Email us at ringerfantasyfootball@gmail.com if you have other impressions.
Yeah, give us requests.
This is like, God, now he's doing impressions.
Yeah. This reminds me of when
fucking vaudeville.
Our former coworker, shout out Sean Yu, did this incredible thing for charity where he just was like, if you Venmoed him $10 and he would donate it to, there was like I think it was when we worked at Spotify, there was a year we had a match. And so if you Venmoed him $10, he would donate it all to a children's hospital. And he would do 20 seconds of any song you wanted on his Instagram story as Creed. So I was asking him to do like Hello by Adele as Creed. And yeah, he did like 150.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
But yeah, but there we go. This is pretty good. So yeah, email us at ringerfantasyfootball@gmail.com if you have impressions you want Craig to do.
I was laughing so hard I banged my mic boom and now I can't get it's like broken.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna hold it.
No booms for you. That's a doom. All right.
Nice.
Thank you, DK. Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Kai, for thank you for your service, Kai, with not just the Oreo flavored Coke, but also the Coke flavored Oreos. Thank you, Carlos, for producing this episode. Thank you, Austin. Thank you, Kiera. Thank you, everyone behind the scenes. Thank you, everyone, for emailing us at ringerfantasyfootball@gmail.com.
Wait, we should also shout out Mark H. DK, that's who it was, right?
Yeah.
Mark H. for making these hilarious video edits of us sounding very sexual for like a good minute.
Oh,
Craig
at the end is like, I can only perform when I get angry.
Yeah, he's just grabbing the most sexual moments from the show and just jamming them all together in like a minute or two.
It's really funny.
It's really funny. So thank you, Mark.
Ringer Fantasy.
Yeah. Only Fantasy. That'll be our only fantasy.
Only Fantasy. And then also email us Fantasy Courts. We do Fantasy Courts at Power Hour.
Yeah.
So there you go. And follow our Instagram, TikTok, Ringer Fantasy. So follow us there. Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Ice Cube.
Nice.
You said that. Interesting. But yeah.
Ice Cube.
I want more JFK from Craig.
I feel like you... No, we got to keep the people wanting more. DK, I feel like you listened to a lot of Ice Cube growing up.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Did you like solo Ice Cube?
You know how we do it? You know how we do it is like one of the all-time bangers in terms of like...
Were you more solo Ice Cube or NWA?
Probably like the solo stuff latter.
It Was a Good Day, Bangs. Great song.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Wait,
Craig has a good point in that I don't really think I have a good sense of when Ice Cube became famous enough to do like movies. Like, dude, you know what? Like he Triple X 2, unbelievable movie. But I don't know what he like. Was his solo career? Was he like really? When did he become really famous? Was he like in NWA? Like he was still insanely famous, and then the solo like happened. Like that's what happened, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Have you guys ever seen Triple X 2? It's unbelievable.
No. I think a lot of his solo stuff was like well into the 90s. And then he didn't really start, I feel like, I mean, he was acting, but later in his career, he really started to do like commercial stuff. Like now he's in like Fist Fight with Charlie Day or something. And you're like, all right.
Are we there yet?
Yeah. Are we there yet? Yeah. Friday, obviously, that was like 90, some mid 90s. Boys in the Hood.
IMDb. That was a War of the Worlds. I don't remember that.
He's good in 21 Jump Street.
Oh my God, he's
funny in those.
He is the best line at both movies.
Which is?
Well, no, I guess the second movie just when he's like, oh, you fucked the captain's daughter for like 30 seconds in a row.
Right. I like finger popping each other's assholes. I like that line.
Yeah.
No,
I think that's going to get clipped by the guy.
Yeah. That's a gimme.
Finger popping each other's assholes. Now Liz is like, all right, I got to go in there.
Liz is like, I liked it when you did the singing. Now this is...
I'm sure there's like an AI software out there that can just do JFK reading anything. So we'll find that.
Yeah. We'll get JFK to do it. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
All right. Goodbye, everyone.